right on into it. Let's take a look at where these two players are going to wind up spawning. It looks like spawning down in that bottom left corner as the blue Zerg, we have Golden Light.
And spawning up to the top right-hand corner here as our red Zerg, we indeed have TSL Symbol.
So already I'm very proud that both players are building drones. As much as I love some sort of very, very, very fast six-pool style build, nothing wrong with building things up. But, oh, look at this. Already we have Symbol. Looks like he's going for a 9-pool.
Yeah, I don't mind this choice on this map too much. Most of the time you will end up seeing other Zergs go for something like a hatchery first. That can be very, very common on this map. But even still, sometimes people don't cut choices. Whoa, hello. Golden went for a 10-pool. Oh my god. Is this real life?
Oh, wow, really? This is hilarious. Oh, man. Now, this is weird. I mean, Killaris, okay, I know you've gotten the chance to watch a lot of Zerg vs. Zerg. Almost always when I watch and see someone going for some sort of early pool, the other player does not. What happens when both players go pool?
That's just the fact that, I mean, things kind of equalize out. There's going to be that point where the 9-pool gets there quicker, and then, because all the overlords are in the correct places to actually spot Zerglings, and then you get to that point where you suddenly, you just defend really nicely and things draw out into a longer game. It's like the weakest income position you can be in early on, but people just go very, very normally into the mid.
Yeah, I mean, I really think it comes down to what these players are going to do with their... Oh, wow, Golden Light. Okay, I've seen him do this before. Look at this. Going for the early pool, but not a single Zergling constructed. That is a very, very cool little maneuver. So right as we're hitting past that 3-minute mark, we're seeing that Golden Light is just now building his first Zergling.
Yeah, this is something that Lowly actually does quite a bit, and we saw it during WCS Europe, we saw it during BWC. Lowly just likes going for very early pulls almost every single game in almost every single matchup apart from against Terran. And from there on, he actually just says, well, I'm not going to build any Zerglings for now. It's just there to actually mediate exactly what you can do in terms of aggression, and I can play very, very stably behind it. So I like this from Golden.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird to think of Golden now having the significant drone lead at 13.
Yeah.
And now we see it looks like Symbol's trying to get a good angle. Cannot quite manage to get it at this point in time. Extractor finishing up for Golden Light.
Yeah, getting that going. I'm just sorting out my little thinky thing. As for now, the Zergling is poking in, having a little bit of a look-see, seeing what they can do, trying to find an angle to actually put on some aggression. But again, this is the lovely advantage of having that pool early on. It also, you get that queen out a little bit earlier, which allows for extra defensive positions with those Zerglings, which, your opponent can't have for the offense unless they want to trundle a queen all across the entire map. But that's literally impossible here. So nice defense by Golden.
Yeah, I mean, that was very, very slick to be able to stay alive and, of course, to be able to maintain that drone lead throughout. But I still like Symbol. I mean, even if you're wrong with your early pool aggression, no matter what, your opponent's going to be on the defense. And then that means you can get up your early expansion. But I'm particularly impressed that Symbol has both gotten up his early expansion and gotten the earlier Zergling speed. That's going to be critical just to be able to control that map space. Golden Light spreading out his overlords aptly to spot all those things. And of course, Symbol's keeping an eye on that expansion.
Yep, for now, what else is he up to? He's just getting his expansion going. Speed is on the way. Neither player really going to have too much of a speed window here, which is something that can be the bane of some Zerglings from time to time, no pun intended, as we do still have the expansion on the way for him. Both players have really spotted their opponent's expansions, though, so neither player really playing in the dark, and we're gearing up for a nice mid-game here for ZVZ, which, personally, I love.
And personally, I'm surprised to see after that sort of crazy opening. Golden Light going for the Baneling Nest right away. Don't blame him. Symbol, I think, doing also a smart move. Flooding with Zerglings. This is another way to cut out the necessity for building those Banelings early on. Do note that Symbol still has just one queen, so he's looking for an opportunity to do a transition up to some higher economy focus, and building these Zerglings allows him to be in the pressure stance, forces Golden to build more Banelings, forces Golden to burn gas. And that is what Symbol's banking on to be able to stay ahead. Because look at that, still no Baneling Nesh for Symbol.
Yeah, I'm loving the position that he's actually found himself with these Zerglings. Just to say, whoa, actually, that's a huge amount of Zerglings that Symbol's actually moving out with now. He saved up a ton of drone.
40.
Yeah, and actually,
that is stunning.
Baneling's now morphing in here for Golden, but can he actually defend against this in time? Those Zerglings are on the way.
Oh, looks like at least one Queen's gonna go down, but Golden Light's about to finish those Banelings. Does he manage to see him? And it looks like moving in is gonna be a lot of trouble here.
Oh, he tries to spread his Zerglings as best he can against that after trying to deal with all of those Queens at the front. So not too bad an aggressive move still here from Symbol. He actually killed off 4 workers in total during all of this. And if he gets another Queen, that's actually really, really big.
God, that has been incredible control from Golden Light to be able to stay alive throughout all of that. Golden Light isn't even that far behind on drones, 28, and he will get that extra Queen. That is going to be such a benefit right now. It is no Queens versus 2 Queens. Symbol, I would claim, is at a big lead at this point in time.
Yeah, could be, could be. He's throwing down Spine Crawlers now in his natural, grabbing his own Baneling Nest just in case his opponent's going to go for the counter. And Golden Light behind all of this aggression as well. He doesn't really have a gas lead or anything like that, so he's not really going to be in a position where he can try and tech off the back of that. So Symbol's still getting a ton of Zerglings, and wow, Symbol actually, he might just go for a second wave of this aggression, you know? I mean, he has all the potential to.
Yeah, I would like to see a layer pop out of Symbol, though. I mean, he's doing the smart thing, saying, okay, I'm going to spend minerals to make Zerglings, a lot of them, 40, and do this push, and then I'll focus on droning and queening, which, again, focus on the minerals, then defending with Spine Crawlers, again, focus on the minerals. So you've done all these mineral techniques to do damage to stay alive. Do something with your gas, damn it.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. It's there. It's present. You need to actually make something happen with it in order to be completely economically stable. And right now, he is getting that layer, as you predicted, with the Roach Warren as well. And Zerglings and Banelings having a little bit of a skirmish at the front. Really going to be able to keep that watered quite nicely. So just Banelings for Banelings right now. A few Zerglings for Banelings as well. Whoa, that one Baneling. Getting kind of scary.
Gosh, every time that Baneling darts in and out, I mean, that is just painful to end up seeing. I mean, it does look like, fortunately, everything will be okay and life will work out quite well. But still, Symbol trying to put on pressure and decides to do a run-up into the main. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this one, Kellaris. I think he's going to get some drones, but that looks like a little move of desperation to me.
Maybe. He's going to get 1, 2 drones. He gets, well, he goes up to 8 kills in total, so got to allow 3 or 4 for his troubles. Baneling's morphing in as well to the side, but they're going to get cleaned up pretty quickly by these Zerglings. Oh, that one Baneling. Well, never mind. That was kind of anticlimactic.
It had the opportunity. But now it looks like Golden Light. Oh my god. 18 Banelings in production, and now a giant wave. Over 20 Banelings trying to march into the front line. Symbol's going to need a miracle to stay alive here. And it looks like all the Banelings crash right into the Queen. Golden Light marches right up to the main base. And now Symbol is in a huge world of trouble. This could be game right here.
Golden playing this very, very nicely indeed. With all of this aggression, he could get loads of drones here. Symbol, though, I mean, technically he does have a gas advantage, but that doesn't really matter too much if you don't have the drones to actually support it. And he's already lost 9. He's actually being evened up quite nicely here. Oh, wow, he actually lost... He's losing so many drones. 20 drones killed off.
Oh, but the pair of Banelings are trying to walk in, and they do manage to connect and get a nice pickup on kills. 26 drones total killed off by Golden. Golden now has the lead. 30 drones to 20 drones. More Zerglings from Golden Light trying to spring on into action, trying to surround those roaches, but really it's these 4 Zerglings heading up into the main that are doing the real damage, checking to make sure that there's nothing mining. Indeed, Golden Light is not going to see anything, so now Golden feels very happy with his drone lead. He's going to be a little bummed that he's so behind on his layer tech, but I do think that the blue Zerg is going to be very pleased with his position.
Yeah, Golden made what he needs to do to actually even things up. That was really, really well done by him. And right now, he has a pretty good spot to continue this aggression if he wants to, or tech up behind it technically as well. He's got the Roach Warren down, and he looks to actually push in once again with Zerglings and Banelings, trying to connect where he can. But Actually, he's just going to walk straight past the roaches. And actually, a really, really nice split here going from Symbol.
God, Symbol's doing just marvelously in these follow-up defenses, and I actually feel like Golden Light is slowly tossing his lead away. He still is leading in terms of drone supply, and there's 13 roaches on the field, but Golden's just started his lair, has only just restarted drone production, is now going to have all these roaches heading towards his own base.
It's funny how aggressive both of these players actually want to be here on Daybreak, because 9.9 times out of 10 in ZVZ, you see the dynamic coming out of killing off a third base whilst taking a third base, and just trying to deny with their Zergling Baneling. Maybe some roaches actually power across the map if someone's got a good economical base to begin with, but neither player's actually even bothered to try and take a third just yet. Both are that aggressive, that willing to try and do some damage, that we're still in a very early stage in a normal ZVZ here, so it's very, very interesting.
Very hard to rely on timings in this spot. I feel like a lot of people are used to a wave and then defending and then moving on and saying, oh yes, 10 minutes is about the time I should be getting my this or my that. But now we're at the 15-minute mark. Both players are going to be pleased to get close to 35 drones average. Excellent. And it looks like Symbol's speed has just finished up, and it's going to be an attempted run up into the main base. There are a lot of spine crawlers there. Can Golden Light block it off? And it looks like the Queen needs to get into position. Zergling's barely getting there in time. Is Symbol going to end up botching his own attack as well? It looks like the answer is yes.
Oh god, and behind that, he still hasn't equalized up the drone counts. He's currently still around 15 drones behind. More roaches are coming for this aggression. Actually clearing up some of the creep, which, it's by the by, it doesn't really matter too much, as unless he really wants to swing into action at his opponent's third, maybe try and deny some of the reinforcements to there eventually. So Symbol could go for something like that, but still, he feels behind and he knows he's behind, and that's why he's only producing roaches, because he wants to try and do some damage. But I don't know if he can.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been super high variance, and now with these roaches burrowing in the corner and Golden Light literally knowing that he has a target right there, guaranteed to be able to do some extra damage. Look at that, morphing into two Overseers right off the bat. I just think that this is going to work out not very well for Symbol. He's going to try to attempt some burrow, unburrow micro. It won't work. And the question is, what is going to be in the future for these two players? Golden does the smart thing, just takes the expand. He knows where these units are. He's going to pick those off. Golden's speed is now done, so he's going to be able to do a little bit of pressure. But I think the real question is, when is Golden Light going to throw down his Infestation Pit? He can actually go Infestation Pit, Macro Hatch, and early fourth quite safely against Symbol in this position. Symbol actually has to catch up, play defense, focus on upgrades and roaching, and then try to pull some sort of miracle with an attack timing, but I just don't know if that's going to happen.
You're entirely right. I mean, Symbol's trying somehow desperately to rely on Burrow with just roaches alone to try and keep him in this, but I mean, Burrow normally comes at a time where you have Infestors out, trying to actually go for some maybe aggression with those as well as keep those alive, and Burrow with roaches against, Roach Infestor Hydra, which will eventually, should appear here for Golden, but he's actually going for the Hydra tech first. But
well,
still,
that's
still
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you make of this really, really fast Hydra tech? I mean, ordinarily we see Hydralisks at, 150 supply gets started.
It's a very interesting choice. Well, actually, we have a little bit of aggression here from Golden going over at his opponent's third, killing it off, which is, the normal dynamics that we see on this map. But I think he just feels that, he did the damage he needed to do, and he's going for another run by again. He doesn't let me talk at all. I'll leave you to it, Sean.
Yeah, looks like Golden Light's going to be stepping up in the main base, trying to pick off some drones, managing to have some marginal success with it. And also we see he's going to be able to pick off at least a couple of units here and there. And with this Hydralisk production coming in, Golden Light is essentially saying, I want to do a timing push.
Yep.
I want to try to bust down. Symbol's doing the opposite. He's saying, I do not want to do a timing push at all. I'm going straight for the Infestation Pit. What this is going to do is this will shut down the possibility of a fast fourth for Golden Light. And, ooh, this is kind of cute, positioning these spine crawlers forward. This will help deflect any scouting to try to hide this Hydralisk plan. This Hydra push from Golden is very all-in-ish. He's going to try to sync it up with his +1 ranged attack upgrade, and if it kills off the third, then Golden Light is going to go straight for Infestors of his own and win 3 base to 2.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of what we're seeing Symbol do behind that as well, though. Spreading creep in front of his own base is going to allow Golden to execute this all the better with those Hydras. And Golden, I mean, he's certainly exploiting exactly what he needs to here to actually try and put the pressure on Symbol. If Symbol doesn't... There we go. He's actually bringing all the Overlords back as well. They would have been super vulnerable to those Hydras.
This is going to be a really, really difficult defense for Golden. There's a couple of angles he really needs to defend, but oh my god, that is the correct way to defend it with Fungals like that. But with these Hydros rolling in from the backside, Symbol has a worse concave. He has fewer units. I'm not even sure any amount of Fungals can save him.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very difficult here for Symbol. And, I mean, just pushing up once again here. And just doing so much damage in turn. Looks like that's going to do it.
Wow, that is an impressive GG Golden Light.